The leader of the House, why are you directing the Chief of Staff to join His Excellency? He has the privilege of sitting with you. Honorable members, today is a very special day in the life of this 7th Assembly. We have our Governor, His Excellency Senator Diri in our midst, and this doesn't happen frequently. Your Excellency, honorable members, distinguished guests, I warmly welcome you to this significant event. Today, we gather to witness the presentation of the 2025 Appropriation Bill by His Excellency Senator Diri, the Governor of Bayelsa State. I commend Governor Diri for his timely compliance with the annual budget preparation, demonstrating unwavering commitment to transparency and accountability, and good governance through ministries, departments, agencies, including other critical stakeholders, and budgetary participation. The prompt preparation and presentation of the 2025 Appropriation Bill showcases your dedication to sustainable development and shared prosperity for Bayelsa State. In line with the Fiscal Responsibility Law 2020 as amended, Your Excellency, your presence here today fulfills the relevant provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, presenting the government's planned spendings and expected revenue sources. We acknowledge Your Excellency's continuation of projects such as the three senatorial routes and the new Yenagua city development. Your Excellency, as representatives of the people, we have received numerous appeals from towns and villages regarding the necessity to connect the communities crisscrossed by the three senatorial roads. And let me use this opportunity, Your Excellency, this assembly to find it important for you to evaluate this appeal based on its merit. We know you have very huge burden with limited resources. I happen to be a member of Council of Enuare Council of Chiefs, and the last 2 weeks we concluded our end of year meeting, and one of the agendas that was discussed on that meeting was how the Enuare Kingdom and the Opuama Kingdom will link to Angiama, which is not more than 9 to 10 kilometers. I think that will benefit even the leader of the House too. His community is not far from this planned road. Such appeals have trooped in from various communities across the three senatorial routes. The Odioma people, the Minikinsi people, and even the Angalabri people and the Buswari people, Fai, Kerema, and Sabama. Your Excellency, these are some of the demands we have so far received from our constituents. Your Excellency, we also want to thank you the fine manner you have handled the constituency project, which are directly benefiting our people. Your Excellency, these are very essential projects initiated by members of the legislature and financed by the executive arm of government under the appropriation law. This, Your Excellency, ensure a minimum presence of government in every constituency by having some grassroots project. It's a way of redistributing of state resources to the communities in order to improve the rural economy. And sometimes when the constituency project is mentioned, the society sometimes believes that these are funds given for as an empowerment project to the honorable members. But the implementation of the project includes procurement processes, design specifications by the coordinating NDAs, and being executed by that very coordinating NDAs. They carried out the same process the way other projects are being executed in the state. It has nothing to link with the honorable members. The good thing is that we are asked to initiate such projects for our people. That's just the advantage. Your Excellency, you know, recently you made an approval and a lot of projects going on in our communities. And one of my constituents, an elderly man who have a local board of bringing sands to supply those who are doing these concrete roads, engaged me and said, Honorable, your governor has been doing well, and I'm about building a new local boat to carry sands. Can more projects come for us to continue with these ones? I said, His Excellency has limited years in office. The next 3 years, thereabout, he will leave in office. And then he said, we can re-elect him now. You have been in the assembly 4 times. What stops the governor who is in charge of the state? I said, that is impossible, and that is how the law is. So, Your Excellency, that is the love the rural people have for you because of the empathy you have for them. I appreciate you for your continued work and the sympathy you have with your people. Again, Your Excellency, your achievements in the education sector. With all this achievement, Your Excellency, in the education sector, the future prosperity of our people will continue to build on sound education. Our youth have been given the opportunity to acquire the knowledge and skills they needed to survive in an increasingly competitive and globalized environment. Your Excellency, for in vain we do build roads and bridges if we do not first build and develop the human mind. There is no greater good you can do than educate the human mind. And Your Excellency, I want to sincerely appreciate you for sensing the narrative, ensuring that Bayelsa catch up with other committees of states in terms of education. Your Excellency, we are very much grateful to all your contributions to Bayelsans, and your practically and holistic approach towards the agricultural, health, other sectors in the prosperity administration. This exemplary leadership promotes continuity and progress towards worthy of emulation. So on behalf of the leadership, honorable members, and staff of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, I graciously invite Your Excellency to formally present and lay the Appropriation Bill 2025.
A Right Honorable Speaker of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, honorable members, once again I am delighted to be in this hallowed chamber for the presentation of the 2025 budgetary estimates of our income projections and the associated expenditures based on our development priorities and aspirations. Mr. Speaker, as you are aware, this presentation is a fulfillment of Section 121 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended 1999. Let me therefore use this opportunity to commend you and honorable members for your mature disposition to duty and unalloyed support to our government in the discharge of your duties. It is an expression of the spirit of teamwork, which we should abide with in our efforts to build a Bayelsa of our dream. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, on assumption of office in our first term, we christened our administration as that of a prosperity government, which had been the guiding principle of this government. And our policies, both economic and programs and development priorities, are all geared towards that entitlement. Undoubtedly, these initiatives and the resultant projects yielded very good success, which explains the emphatic endorsement of our government for a second tenure by the people of Bayelsa State. Following the gains and experiences of our first tenure in office, we are committed again to advancing the socio-economic and infrastructural development of our dear state. Consequently, we have instituted a new mantra for our second tenure, tagged Assured, A-S-S-U-R-E-D. The Assured agenda, with 7 pillars to serve as beacon to enhance our economic growth, social development, infrastructural advancement, environmental sustainability, cultural preservation, and good governance. As a responsive, transparent, and inclusive government, we have continued to encourage citizens' participation in our budgetary processes through stakeholders' engagement and public interactive sessions to fashion out our development priorities. I therefore wish to review some of our activities in the outgoing year. And this brings me to the overview of the year 2024 budget implementation. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in reviewing the 2024 budget implementation, I wish to state that a total of 489,433,632,374 naira and 32,000 were the budget. However, there was a supplementary budget of 270 billion 800 million naira that were all approved by this esteemed Honorable House for the 2024 fiscal year. Let me state that in the course of the implementation of the 2024 budget, there were some extraneous moments which we are all aware of, including the floating of our currency and several other extraneous moments that triggered globally and nationally challenges in our economy. However, our performance is still above 70% as of today in this third quarter of 2024. We have made significant strides in almost every sector of our economy. Permit me, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, to highlight some very critical programs and projects that we have executed, which I believe that even in the address of Mr. Speaker, he has captured most of them. Our government has continued to demonstrate faithful devotion to roads and other critical infrastructure in our states. In tandem with our promise to connect all local government area headquarters by road network, we have continued with the construction of the senatorial roads. And we are proud to announce today that the Keremo local government headquarters today can be reached with a very motorable road. The 21-kilometer first phase of Nembe Brass Road with 10 bridges is progressing as planned and has reached an advanced stage. I was informed that just some few days ago, the House Committee on Works visited that project. And I'm also pleased to report that the 620 meters Angiama Oporoma Bridge is over 50% completed. While waiting for the engineering timelines for the bridge, we have gone ahead with the construction work to the local government headquarters of Oporoma and a neighboring community, Otuan. We have also started the Glory Drive Phase 3 that will link the Ingbi Road with a bridge crossing the Epie Creek. And similarly, the commissioners and legislators' quarters and connecting roads with the new Yenagua city is near completion. Other ongoing roads and infrastructural projects include the Ogu, Ayama, Okodi Road, the Sabagria Polako Road, the Torurua, Bolorua, Kabiama, Ebeni Road, amongst several others. Furthermore, in this 2024 fiscal year, we have completed a number of internal roads in Yenagoa Metropolis and its environs as part of our deliberate policy to give a facelift to our state capital. We are also constructing internal roads across our communities in the state. There is at least one road in each of the state's constituencies and several wards. And of course, this is also true from what Mr. Speaker has also told us of the man who wanted to extend my tenure against the Constitution. Education. In the educational sector, our government has consistently invested on infrastructure and human development. We have continued the building of technical colleges in all the local government areas of Bayelsa State. and improved the facilities and amenities in the existing ones. Our goal is to increase students' intake into this technical and vocational and science-based education and reduce the over-reliance on paper qualification, thereby producing graduates that cannot be employed. In our efforts to improve on the standard of education in the states, we have strengthened the application of technology for our educational delivery through the Bielsa Prime project, and also employed more staff, both teaching and non-teaching, to cover our manpower gaps in our primary and secondary schools. We have ensured that all programs in our tertiary institutions are fully accredited. And we have also increased grants to our tertiary institutions to meet with the existing realities of the time. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, it is worthy of note that the contractor for the NDU 10,000-seater capacity convocation arena has been mobilized to site. Civil service. We have continued to place the welfare of workers as top priority. In this outgoing year of 2024, we have also met the welfare obligation of serving and retired civil servants, and we shall not relent on it. To cushion the effects of the economic hardships, we introduced and promptly paid wage awards to all our civil servants. And a new minimum wage of 80,000 naira has been approved by this government, effective from the 1st of November 2024. We have also provided the sum of 7 billion naira for the payment of outstanding gratuities and also increased monthly provisions forthwith. Agriculture. Our efforts at developing the agricultural sector of our economy is also worth mentioning here, Mr. Speaker. In the outgoing year, our government provided support in different dimensions to ensure that the agricultural potentials of our states are harnessed and benefits derived from it. Consequently, we have continued the training of youths in various agricultural techniques and value chain activities within and outside the country. Furthermore, the state is in collaboration with the World Bank for the construction of 80 kilometers rural roads under the Rural Access and Mobility Project, nicknamed RAMP. And this will be done across our states. The designs for these projects have been completed by the Bielsa State government. The roads, when completed, will further boost our agricultural production activities and enhance food security. Social and economic programs. As part of our socio-economic development activities, our government, in conjunction with development partners, supported over 400,000 poor and vulnerable households through monthly cash transfers and grants in agriculture, micro and small medium-scale enterprises. And we have also embarked on intervention projects in over 300 communities across the 105 wards of our state. Sports development. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this government recognizes that youth are full of energy, which should be put to proper use. Therefore, we have invested heavily in sports development. These investments have also been yielding the desired results. Mr. Speaker, as I recounted above, our achievements in the outgoing year is an open book which well-meaning Bayelsans have continued to applaud. The 2025 budget estimates. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, permit me at this juncture to present to you the 2025 budget estimates christened Budget of Assured Prosperity. Let me begin by saying that implementing the 2025 budget will require some level of efficiency and synergy in government activities across ministries, departments, and agencies. Importantly, the overall outcome of the 2025 budget will significantly depend on the level of fiscal and monetary policy coordination. Therefore, our team, particularly the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, is charged to ensure fiscal discipline, transparency, accountability, and proper coordination in our implementation processes. To kickstart a properly coordinated development drive, the 3-year medium-term rolling plan of the MDAs, as expressed in the medium-term sector strategies, are consistent with the philosophy and objectives of the Assured Agenda. Owing to our desire to pursue a robust development as enunciated in the Assured Agenda, we have consciously crafted these 2025 budgets in such a manner that we are mobilizing funds for human and capital infrastructural development initiatives. Covering the 7 broad areas of the Assured Agenda, which are agricultural, rural, and revolution, and blue economy, sports and youth development, security and peace, urban renewal and rural development, robust healthcare delivery, energy generation, economic growth and tourism, and diversifying education towards innovation and technology, by ensuring that our recurrent expenditure is kept within limits. However, we have taken care to ensure that the personnel costs by way of salaries, pensions, and gratuity are met timeously and fully. Following the executive retreat earlier this year, government has drawn up a comprehensive development roadmap for the state, which will be a guide to all our socio-economic and infrastructural developmental activities. Details of the 2025 budget estimates. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I now wish to present to you a total budget size of 689 billion 440 million 348,916 naira 30 kobo only for the year 2025 fiscal year. Therefore, the revenue breakdown is as follows. Opening balance, 14,200 million. Statutory allocation, 17 billion naira. VAT, 57 billion naira. 13% derivation plus refund, 138 billion 804,501,000. Sorry, I take that again. 113% derivation plus refund, 138 billion 804,511,503 naira 72 kobo. Refund on excess crude, 29 billion 62 million 795,619 naira 25 kobo. Exchange gains, 103 billion 73 million 41,793 naira 33 kobo. Grants, 39 billion 400 million naira. Other capital receipts, electronic money transfer, signature bonus, cash calls, loans, and etc. 141 billion 400 million naira, totaling to the sum of 689 billion 440 million 348,916 naira 30 kobo. The total expenditure for the year 2025 is therefore broken down as follows. Personnel costs, 91 billion 961 million 783,951 naira 4 kobo. Pensions and gratuity, including contributory pension, 19 billion 324 million 76,935 naira 910 naira 66 kobo. I take that again. Pensions and gratuity, including contributory pension, 19 billion 324 million 76,910 naira 66 kobo. CFRFC transfers, 3 billion 346 million 460,935 naira. Total personnel cost, 108 billion 338 million 20,204 naira 4 kobo. That brings the total personnel cost to 13.3%. Overhead costs, 79 billion 650 million 869,000 203 naira 67 kobo. Grants, contributions, and subsidies, 9,147,130,396 naira 33 kobo. 10% contribution to SUBEB. As we all know that SUBEB is a counterpart funding between the state government and the federal government. 2,500,000,000 naira. RDS, 4,500,000,000 naira. Public debt servicing, 52,944,847,915 naira 95 kobo. Total recurrent expenditure, 263,375,129,712 naira 64 kobo. And that brings it to 38.2%. And in that 38.2%, the personnel costs and salaries is also inclusive. Capital expenditure, 404 billion. 761,954,243 naira 47 kobo. Planning reserve, 21 billion 303,260,960 naira 18 kobo. Total capital expenditure is 424 billion. 426 billion, 65,203,065 kobo. And that brings our total capital expenditure to 61.8%. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, in this 2025 fiscal year, we are laying the foundation of the assured agenda. Therefore, pursue vigorously the roadmaps to a prosperous Bayelsa state. Consequently, our expenditure breakdown in some of the sectors is as follows. Works and infrastructure. Construction of the Nembe Brass Road, Yenagwa Oporoma Ukubie Road, Ogu Ayama Okodi Road, Sabagria Polaku Road, Tororoa Boloroa Kabema Ebeni Road, internal roads, ultra-modern state secretariat, amongst others. And the sum provided for that is 178 billion, 761,088,407 naira 32 kobo. This is the allocation for works and infrastructure. Education. The construction of the additional science, technical, and vocational colleges. Construction of the NDU Convocation Arena. Provision of school infrastructure, instructional materials, subventions to tertiary institutions and others, And the sum provided for all of this is 47,111,696,198 naira 40 kobo is allocated to this sector. Sports. The construction of an ultra-modern stadium in Yenagoa, upgrading of stadia facilities, competitions, athletics, talent development programs, the sum of 37,850 million is allocated to this sector. Urban and housing development. The construction of 1,000 housing units across the 8 local government areas, and of course our state capital, Yenagoa, the sum of 13 billion 680 million is allocated to this sector. Energy and power. Investment in gas systems, including the outright purchase of a new gas turbine for our state system. Upgrade of various substations, provision of transformers, extension of feeders, 1 megawatts pilot off-grid solar farms to complement power supply, the distribution of network extensions, the sum of 14,450 million is allocated to this sector. In agriculture, 16,650 million is allocated. Security, 19 billion is allocated. Healthcare, 19,194,188,466 naira 6 kobo is allocated. Community development, 10,200 million is allocated. Mr. Speaker, for want of time, I will not go into the details, as those details are contained in the budget. And this is reflective of every other ministry, department, and agency. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in our efforts to improving the management of funds, we carefully crafted this budget in a manner of a 61.8 to 38.2% ratio between capital and recurrent expenditure. As I have directed my officials to ensure that we invest and our budgets are more of capital provisions rather than recurrent provisions. And this is to enable us achieve projected dividends as encapsulated in our assured agenda. Once again, I hereby direct the State Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning to ensure strict adherence with the above ratio in the course of the implementation of this budget. And if for any reason that it has to vary, it should vary in favor of capital expenditure. Furthermore, I'd like to thank the good people of Bayelsa State for the peaceful disposition which has made our state attractive to all and sundry. The hopes and aspirations of our people rest on our prudent resource management, and I urge these honorable hallowed chambers to scrutinize this budget estimates with your characteristic diligence, emphasizing your statutory duties and functions of oversight. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, permit me at this juncture to lay before you the 2025 budget of assured prosperity for your kind consideration and timely passage. Thank you.
Your Excellency, first, we want to sincerely appreciate God for you for successful laying of the budget 2025 appropriation. Your Excellency, we sincerely assure you that the 7th Assembly under my watch will do due diligence and prioritize the 2025 appropriation bill in order to ensure it is passed into law in record time, which is the practice of this assembly. Your Excellency, it is the macroeconomic variables such as crude oil production and pricing, exchange rate, real GDP growth, and some other that provide fiscal analysis that form the basis of budgeting in our economy. Thus, the figures projected in the 2025 budget estimate is achievable with the parameters and assumptions reflected in the MTF and fiscal strategies paper. Indeed, we are concerned with the appropriation process and to actualize the timely budget passes with desired intention to create legacy of transparency and accountability as best international practice. The Assembly is ready for the legislative exercise as required by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we assure you immediately the Appropriation Committee will serve. All other committees will serve as subcommittee to the Appropriation Committee and swing into action and get back to you in no distance time. Thank you, Excellency, and God bless you all. Your Excellency, the laying of the 2025 appropriation bill is the first reading. Honorable members, we have exhausted the major activity of the day, and His Excellency the Governor is so occupied with a lot of activities. We just kick-started yesterday the Thanksgiving activities of Bayelsa State. On that note, may I seek the leave of this House to allow His Excellency the Governor and his entourage to take a simple bow and leave the sacred floor. Those in favor should say aye. Aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Your Excellency, we can take a group picture and we take a simple bow. Nigeria.